evening, that sounds like we're going to bed. Usually I say good morning, but tonight we're doing a nighttime shoot. That's why it's dark. All right. Hello, everybody. My name's Justin Taylor. You're here at Firestorm Free Running and Acrobatics, and today we are going to start a couple of little skills in a row, slowly building up your front flip. You've been asking for a lot of front flip stuff, so we're going to start with our front dive roll. That dive roll is going to set you up with a foundation that will allow you to transition it into a front flip, which later on we're going to take to our step up front flip, our elevator front flip, and eventually we're going to have a little bit of fun and do like a Kong front flip. But first, we got to learn the basics, which is the dive roll to get us used to popping our booty up over our head and rolling without dying, because that is definitely a positive. Not dying, it's rule number one. Let's get started.
Look at that little Simone. He's just a cute little guy. Look at him.
I don't think we ever see Simone.
I know, look how tiny he is though. He just look.
That's what you're about. All right, beautiful people. We're gonna start with our 60-second breakdown for our dive roll, something we use to jump, dive, and then roll over objects. What a strange name, doesn't even make any sense at all. But there you go, 60 seconds on the clock. CGI magic, oh yeah. All right, so when we do our dive roll, we're either jumping off 2 feet, a split step, or maybe we're even striding into it, although that one's a little harder. The main thing is that as we jump, we need to be popping our hips up above our shoulders. It's very hard for me to roll if my butt is lower than my shoulders. It just doesn't work. So as I jump through the air, I'm bringing my arms up in front of me so I can hands up and absorb. Now I want to be tucking my chin down to my chest as I pop that booty up like I'm on the dance floor. So as I jump, I'm going to pop that booty, hands go down. I'm looking back the way I came, tucking my chin. I'm going to use my arm muscles and absorb. I'm not just going to drop onto my head or my back. That's going to hurt, especially on concrete. I'm going to use the arms, press down, tuck my chin, so I'm actually setting myself on the strong part of my back, this bridge right here, slow motion, and tuck and roll. You'll notice when I do this, I'm in a pike position. I'm leaving my feet behind me, just like when I do a candlestick. So when I actually land with my legs here, I can snap my heels to my butt and my shoulders forward, and that allows me to gain that momentum for the roll. So I'm jumping up and over, legs straight, absorb, tuck, and that allows me to roll and stand up, and that is your 60-second breakdown on your dive roll. Yeah! Okay, I'm good now. All right, let's break it down a little bit. When you start your dive roll, the hardest part for most people is actually jumping into the dive and dropping their head down. Most people feel more comfortable keeping your chest up. It's the same reason why when people fall, they don't snap into a shoulder roll and protect themselves, right? What do people do when they fall? They go like, and they try to pull their chest and everything away from the area they're going. This is not going to assist you when you do this roll. So the best way to start doing a dive roll is with a forward roll. Now, if you have a cheese mat, which is an angled mat that you can roll down, makes life a little easier, but you don't necessarily need one. You just need the ground. When you first do this, I highly recommend not doing it on concrete. Do it on a spring floor, do it on a mat, do it on grass, something a little softer, because when you first learn, you're probably gonna bonk the back of your head or the top of your head. It's not gonna feel good on concrete. In fact, some might even say it feels bad. That would be me. I say that it feels bad. It doesn't feel good. So we're gonna start in this nice little squatted down position. I'm up on my toes. I'm not in like a weightlifting squat or anything. I'm just up here on my toes. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my hands out so my arms are angled close to a 45 directly in front of me. Hands are shoulder width apart with my fingers facing forward. And what I'm gonna do is I'm slowly gonna bend my arms, elbows in, not flared out like I'm doing a push-up. And as I do, I'm gonna tuck my chin down and look at my belly button. Now, as I do this, what I don't wanna do is tuck back this way. I wanna fall forward like my shoulders are going over, past my fingertips, and my head is gonna go down right here in between. Now again, just like in our 60-second breakdown, I don't actually want to be touching any part of my head. If any part of my head is touching the ground during a forward roll, and I don't mean this lustrous mane of hair, I mean, well, you can't hear that noise. Oh, but I can inside my head. It rattles a lot. Is it supposed to rattle? Okay, that was an easy pot shot at me you could have taken, but I appreciate that you didn't. All right, as I go forward here, I'm gonna extend my legs, sticking my butt up and forward. My shoulders are coming just past my hands. My chin tucks down, and I'm gonna use these arms to set my shoulders down. Before my shoulders touch the ground, my feet need to leave the ground with a little tiny jump. If they don't, and sometimes people don't do it that way, it is very hard to get around without touching just the back of my head on the ground. So when I do that, I want to give just the tiniest bit of jump, which will allow me to rotate over in the air and set myself down on the bridge of my back, the strong, meaty part of my shoulders, protecting the nubs of my spine and the back of my head. So I'm coming here, I'm bending over, I'm looking back, and I give a little jump, and I'm gonna roll and stand up. Again, although you don't exactly have to be in a pike position when you do this, that's my personal recommendation, not a requirement. But you'll notice, if I do have those legs straight behind me, my legs are fully extended, which means I have as much possible power available to snap my heels to my butt to roll me over. So look how slow I go when I start, and then look at all that power I have to stand myself up. Now, in order to stand yourself up, that's just all timing. It's just like if I spin around and my arms are out. If I snap both arms in really fast together and pull in, I'm gonna spin much faster. If, when I'm doing a roll, I go from a fully extended position with these legs to a fully tight tuck, I'm gonna increase the rotation speed a lot. And that's what I want. I want all that momentum, that juicy, juicy momentum. So a really good drill to practice that, and this is also one you're gonna wanna do for your front flips later on, is we're gonna do what's called a candlestick. There's a lot of variations of the candlestick. I'll show you the basic one that I like to do. There's a couple different versions. Choose what works best for you. They're all very, very similar. The idea is, I'm gonna lay back, I'm gonna lift my legs straight, followed by my hips up above my shoulders in a straight line as high as I possibly can. I can keep my hands here or up here, which is generally considered a little harder, and I'm gonna push my hips up. I am trying to straighten my body as much as I can by squeezing my butt cheeks in. I don't wanna be in this position. From here, all I'm gonna do is let my heels drive straight down towards the ground, whoop, and tuck at the very last second. All right, what I don't wanna see is like this, and then like this. It kills the momentum. I wanna fall like a tree that's been chopped, boop, and right before I hit the ground, I'm gonna throw my chest like I'm doing a sit-up and try to pull it to my knees, and I'm trying to slam and heel drive my heels into my butt. If I do those at the exact same time with the right timing right before I hit the ground, it's gonna go from out here, snap into a ball. It's gonna rotate really fast and allow me to have enough momentum not only to stand up, but to jump up. It should look a little like this. Going here, whee! And that's without even grabbing my knees. When I start grabbing my knees, I'm gonna get a lot more power. This one is timing and body position sensitive, so you're gonna wanna practice it a little bit. Once you have that down, you feel very comfortable with that roll, that's when you're coming back to that forward roll and making sure that, if you watch right here, it's almost like I'm gonna hit that candlestick position, just kind of bent over and piked. You hear? Tucking, and it rolls me right up. Now what I'm gonna do is the exact same thing, but instead of starting like the forward roll with my hands on the ground, this is how you build to your dive roll. Dive roll just means that we're diving into that roll. There is no set distance, gap, size, whatever, on what it has to be a dive roll. As long as my feet leave the ground before my hands touch, I did a dive roll. I could even go backwards. Technically, that was a dive roll. A really crappy one, but technically a dive roll. As long as my feet leave the ground first. I can start running, jumping from a standing position, or this little baby squat, just to get myself used to it. So from here, all I wanna see, so you can put your hands in the same normal spot, but my hands are here. I'm gonna try to hop my feet off the ground, pop that booty up, like I'm on the dance floor. Get it. This is a children's show. All right, I've seen SpongeBob, they do worse things. All right, and then we're gonna do our roll. So I'm gonna go here, little jump, and roll right over. It's important that when you jump, your arms are a little extended in front of you, so you have time to absorb. If I jump and my arms are already bent here, look at that, it's already too low. I'm gonna smack my head, there's nothing I can do. So I wanna kind of reach those arms out. As I feel comfortable, what I'm gonna do, and I'll use this line as an example, if this is where my hands would be for a normal roll, I'll scoot myself back just a little bit and jump my hands to that same position. Remember, as I do this, I now have to get my butt just as high, but just as high and forward over where I'm gonna roll. If my butt goes high but it stays behind me, I can't really roll right there, can I? So it's important that as I jump to there, my butt drives up and over the area that my shoulders and my hands are gonna be. So from right here, you'll watch my butt like a big giant rainbow. Oh my God, please tell me you can put a rainbow coming out of, like Nyan Cat. Yes, I'm so excited for this. Almost as cool as that time I went Super Saiyan. All right, I'm gonna jump, my butt goes up, and I roll. Try to think that there's a small object there. I like to bring out, when I start a new person, a small little barrel, like this guy over here we'll grab real quick. These guys are really cool. You can start as small as you feel comfortable. There is no reason to rush, because if you rush and you don't get a good jump on one of them, smack on top of the head, all right? No good for anybody. Or as my father would tell me, Justin, you'll be fine, because no brains, no headaches. It's sad. I don't want to talk about it. It's Father's Day and I don't want to talk about it. Okay, when I come in, you'll notice now I'm not in squat position. I'm standing up, which means this jump is going to be easier, because as my hands go down, it's very easy to get my butt up, because basically all I have to do right here is fall. I can fall over this guy, woo, and dive roll. As I feel comfortable, I'm going to run, jump, and the far end of this is a big heel drive. If you know what a front layout is, you extend the body up behind you in a mostly straight position. I'm gonna be driving my heels up as I jump off the ground and then reaching forward to do my dive roll. I can come in, whoo, and roll it right over. You don't exactly wanna go there in the very beginning. Start small, build up, stay safe, but most importantly, make sure your butt is over your body so your body can actually fall over and roll. And by your body, I mean over your shoulders and hands. And number two, make sure your upper body is strong enough to support you. I've seen a lot of people get up and dunk right on their head because their arms just aren't strong enough. Let your butt fall over past your shoulders and your hands, and make sure you practice doing a lot of overhand push-ups and things. If this is still really difficult and you have trouble bonking yourself on the head, go find a block like this over here. All you're gonna do is, we've all done push-ups, and then you do the, you know, the inverted push-ups, right? You're like, okay, I put my foot up on the thing, and I do the push-ups, but that's not gonna help you here. What I wanna see is your butt up over your shoulders here, and then practice just a little push-up as much as you can. If you can do more, all the way down, all the way up. Because when you do this, you're gonna go here, tuck, roll, and there's your dive roll. So you can practice that drill to build the upper body, shoulder, lat, and bicep and tricep strength that you need to not fall on your head and go ba-dunk. Sound good? Yay! So, you know, do that thing where you share, where you comment about sharing, how you like to share, and then subscribe to sharing. Sharing is a subscription service. I can't speak English. All right, it's been a long day. I don't have my fire energy. I love all your beautiful faces. Check in next week, where we're gonna take this dive roll and turn it into a front flip. Oh yeah! You're gonna like superimpose that with real music, right? What are you doing? Oh my God! I don't know. Oh, okay, good. That makes two of us.